surprised.
In Spanish, campeones.
Not champiñones.
No, I knew that you had issues with that before.
Croatia have got a good record, actually, when you take a look at when things have gone to extra time. Not this time out, though. It's only the second time they have lost when it's gone to extra time in their last 8 matches. Meanwhile, for Spain, they have bucked the trend very much. They've been struggling somewhat in extra time. Do you remember that defeat against Morocco and, of course, Italy in the semi-finals of the Euros? This time, though, they come out the winning side. Luis Garcia, congratulations. What a moment for your country.
Thank you very much, Dan. Actually, we're going to celebrate. We'll do a parade here in Madrid for sure. I think the people is already getting into... We don't know still where it's going to be celebrated, but soon I can tell you. Yeah, it's true that it's not probably the best competition. It's not the biggest competition, but at least it's something that it was needed for Spain. There was a lot of doubt in Luis de la Fuente, the coach, arriving to the position because he didn't have a background of being or managing teams. So it was a little bit with a lot of doubt. It's still with some ones because definitely today wasn't the best game of Spain. Not even on shot on target in the first 45 minutes. It was very plain. Not much creativity up front. A lot of problems at the back when you try to build up. But at the end, when you win a trophy, it's something that gives you confidence to continue working. There is a Euros coming up, and I think it was very important to Spain to get this win, to celebrate and to keep this transition period that we are in at the moment, because definitely we don't have the best players at the moment because there are some injuries there. But I think we can be confident to have a good team when this European competition arrives.
Jules, I'm concerned.
Uh-oh.
I'm worried we peaked at the World Cup final when it comes to international showcases, because every final since I just feel has been a bit disappointed. Champions League, Europa League, this. Oh, I thought France against Argentina would set the tone for the future.
Yeah, it's not like that. I mean, I guess when you don't have an Mbappe or Messi facing each other in the final, maybe it doesn't hit the heights that we saw in Qatar. I enjoyed this final.
No, you didn't, Jules. Don't lie.
It's true. It's true. But this was never going to be, for the reasons that Luis explained, on the Spain side with the transition, the new manager, and maybe not the depth in the squad and the kind of players that Spain used to have, and a Croatia team that is at times lovely to watch, but still quite old and still relying a lot heavily, certainly on their midfield. There was nothing else to expect really from the final. I think it's good for Spain, and it could maybe be a turning point, certainly not just for penalty shootouts, but with De La Fuente and with this transition period. For Croatia, you have to feel for them because they reach finals and semi-finals, but they never win anything. So this golden generation that they have is difficult. But yeah, you're right. In terms of finals, and nothing will ever beat the 2022 World Cup final anyway.
Oh, maybe the 1998 final, eh, Frank?
Yeah, maybe. You know what? I can say something. You know, what really intrigued me during that game is I saw 2 French centre-back play for Spain, and I say, well, Spain not long ago were having like Puyol, Piqué, Ramos, and became champion of the world. Now they have to pick to get some people from France, change their nationality to find 2 centre-backs to play. It says a lot, maybe, of the power of the French centre-backs and the possibility that Didier Deschamps has to pick some centre-backs. Or maybe the difficulties for the coach of the national team of Spain to find 2 centre-backs at the international level. But Spain is a big country of football. Normally, players who become or you choose another nationality because they were born with parents from 2 nationalities. They pick up that small country because they don't have a chance to play.
This is one of Spain's greatest ever achievements, and you're poo-pooing it by saying they've basically got a couple of French rejects. Why did you have to take it there?
I mean, it says but I think it says a lot about the level of the Spanish team.
They've just won the Nations League, Frank. That's the level they're at. Where are France in this competition? Nowhere.
Oh yes, yeah, very much. You're right. You make a comparison with a team who played the final of the World Cup.
Lost the final of the World Cup.
Okay, lost the final of the World Cup. You know, because a fantastic save from Martinez. Otherwise, they would have won again.
The humility from Frank in talking about the dominance of the French centre-backs. Remind me, what position did Frank play?
Oh, I can't remember. I don't know. Ali, we were going to move on, but you did have to watch this game, so would you like to add anything?
I feel under pressure here to say something.
You don't have to say anything.
Well, it was very obvious.
F1 and the golf.
I had a lot of things on.
And the Yankees against the Red Sox on.
I did have a lot of things on, but I can tell you that what was clear to see from both teams is that in the final third, they have some serious issues. They just don't have elite level sort of talent. And Spain are still depending on Morata to do something. And that may happen one day, but may not happen for many days. And similarly, Croatia, they just don't have enough in the attack. So while the strength may be in the midfield for both of them, that meant that this game, well, was lacking a whole lot of quality in the attacking half. And therefore, yeah, forgive me if I was paying attention to Formula One.
Wow.
Forgive me if I was paying attention to golf.
As well.
That was too. It has been a dull weekend so far.
Wow.
Man.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.